What's going on, Jerome? So, it's weird. I don't know why Vikings fans are upset, because y'all thought that the Vikings were going to get their teeth kicked in by 50. But you're saying a close near-run thing just validates your negativity. Nah. So, like, every single thing that we outlined in our raw rear rant this morning in the car of, hey, the Vikings are a talented team. The Eagles can get got. This offense can deal if we protect Kirk Cousins. And if the defense gets a couple nice stops, it'd be great. If they don't turn the ball over, they will win. But the Vikings turned the ball over, and they did not win. But isn't it so weird? I think that this 0-2 Vikings team in 2023 is a more talented team than the 13-14 from last year. They really are, legitimately. The offense, the defense, the special teams, it's crazy to think. Like, a win is a win, and you are what your record says you are, except for last year that didn't apply, apparently. But the Vikings fall a little bit short in Philadelphia, but the turnovers killed them. The halftime shenanigans killed them, and they have no one to blame but themselves for this 0-2 start. They should have beat the Buccaneers, turned it over 3 times. Should have beat the Eagles, you turned it over 4 times, and also you couldn't stop the run. But other than that, you did really good. But we got some winners and losers from the game. Winner number 1, again, people are gonna be mad, but Kirk Cousins dealt. Like, Kirk Cousins was en fuego on Thursday night. 31-43 for 364, 4 touchdowns, a buck 28.4 quarterback rating. Kirk Cousins, that may have been the best game I've ever seen Kirk Cousins in a Vikings uniform. Like, no cap, absolutely none. Where Kirk, especially given the circumstances, like, you're in Philly, you're on their 3rd string left tackle. Hopefully Oli Udoh gets better soon, because that did not look good. Just the leg buckled in, and also you're on your backup center, and yeah, I mean, it feels like such a waste. Here's like, if and when the Vikings crawl their way out of this 0-2 hole and make a run at the playoffs and make the playoffs, and Kirk is playing at this level, I think he's a legitimate MVP candidate, and I'm not lying. Not lying at all. Danielle Hunter, 8 sacks, 3 tackles. If he's not the NFC, 8 tackles, 3 sacks. The other way would be a record. If he's not the NFC Defensive Player of the Week, like, the voting is rigged. Stolen election. Justin Jefferson. So, yeah, the fumble at the pylon really sucks, and it really changed the momentum of this game, and it sort of got away from the Vikings at the start of the second half. But Darius Slay traveled, did not care at all. Like, Darius Slay held, and JJ still got his 11 for a buck 59 on 13 targets. Like, putting this team on his back when they needed big time plays, him and Kirk and TJ and Addison got it done, man. Brian Flores, not against the run. So, I mean, this defense is good. They can't stop the run, but this defense is good. They're overall disciplined. They're much better in coverage, and it's a complete 180 from last season, where they contained Jalen Hurts. I know that Hurts put up a ton of fantasy points, but he did not look good throwing the ball. They also got an interception by Theo Jackson, which is great. And yeah, I mean, this was a game where Flores really dialed back the blitz, but it was there. But I mean, Vikings maybe blitz 18%. Seemed like it was a lot less than week 1 against the Buccaneers, but dropping 8, rushing 3, but they were still able to get the Eagles off the field. It was good to see. Hawkinson earning every single penny of that money, man. So over the middle and through the woods, he was attacking 7 for 66 and 2 touchdowns on 8 targets. And you had the big 4th down conversion, made a couple nice 3rd down conversions as well. 2 touchdowns, obviously, and yeah, he was good. A linebacker, Jordan Hicks. So Hicks may have found the fountain of youth, man. Like, Texas is indeed back, baby. So he had 11 tackles, 8 solo, flying around, making plays. He was doing really, really good, man. Ivan Pace Jr., Pace started with Hicks. Awesome was on the field quite a bit too. So the Vikings were doing 3 down linemen, 3 linebacker looks quite a bit. But Pace Jr. 8 tackles, had his first career half sack. Went full Lance Armstrong on the bit, and I love seeing Pace and his aggressiveness in terms of using him as a pass rusher. I think that they need to utilize that more, man. Theo Jackson had himself an interception. So he got picked on right away by the long Devontae Smith pass, but he recovered nicely, filling in for Metellus. Had that pick, like we said, 4 tackles as well. Made a couple nice special teams plays too. Kevin O'Connell, frankly, his offensive game plan was great, and he stole all of our ideas from the videos, man. In terms of manufacturing touches for JJ, getting Cousins some time, getting the ball out of his hand quick, and utilizing his weapons. But 374 yards on the road, 6 of 10 for third down, 1 for 1 on fourth, 6.8 yards per play. I mean, the passing game was really good. The running game, this offensive line literally could not block. And, Madison deserves his share of the blame, which we'll get to. But, I mean, it was just bad all the way around, man. Ryan Wright, boomer, 57-yard punt, flip the script a little bit. Punt coverage is also very good. Like, Naylor didn't have the highlight play like last week, but him and Najee Thompson probably the best punt gunners in the league. And also Cam Bynum, Cam Beasley. Again, Vikings fans really hate on Beasley. I don't know why, but Bynum had himself a phenomenal game. 15 tackles and a tackle for loss. Played great against the Bucks too. Like, he's really coming out of the gates swinging in this defense. Losers. So some unfortunateness here. So the run defense was just straight up bad. 175 to frickin' DeAndre Swift. 6.3 yards per carry. 133 yards before contact. It was just miserable, man. Brandon Powell had that fumble on the punt return, which the Vikings were setting up in good field position. Madison had that fumble. Actually, we would have had 2 fumbles except for the Eagles defensive lineman lined up off sides. The Jefferson fumble at the pylon. Again, it's the dumbest rule in all of football, but is what it is, and it resulted in a 10-point swing. Instead of going up 14-10, head in the locker room, you're down 13-7, and then eventually 20-7, and then 27-7. Josh Oliver sacked Kirk. Like, he did his best Ed Ingram impression. Schlutman and Ezra Cleveland, blocking inside against the Georgia guys, Davis and Carter. Jalen Carter, for all the hype coming into this game, was relatively muted. Not saying, I'm just saying. Greg Joseph almost shanked that PAT. Allen Kirk Herbstreit. I'm pretty convinced that Herbstreit doesn't know the names of like 75% of the players. And also, like, for me, Al Michaels is the creme de la creme of play-by-play. But him and it sounded like the Eagles preseason game and like the home radio announcing duo. Like, Al and Kirk were fully in the bag for Philadelphia, just like slobber knocker on all over the place. Talking about how the Vikings were regressing to the mean. They brought up point differential from last year. So stupid, man. Byron Murphy tackling. Byron Murphy coverage, fantastic. Byron Murphy tackling, not so much. Harrison Phillips, even though Harrison racked up and stacked up a ton of tackles in the middle, just sloppy in the neutral zone on that third down infraction, and also was at the nose on most of the runs. Again, he's not a one tech. He's not a nose tackle. He's best utilized as a 3-tech, 4-tech, 5-tech. Get Kairos Tonga in there and shore this thing up. The refs, I mean, the overturning of JJ at the pylon, the initial ruling on the field it was outside the pylon. I didn't see a camera angle that was definitive that it was over the pylon. So, and also, it seemed like the Eagles hit Kirk in the head about a half a dozen times. Uncalled. None of them. Weird. Oli Udoh. It's unfortunate. So, Oli did allow that strip sack to Josh Sweat, but his injury looked really damn bad. So prayers up for Oli. Caleb Evans, even though Evans made some really nice plays, had that minor calf injury, looked like a cramp. He returned the game, but 63-yard touchdown to Devonta, which is not good. KJ, come on, man. Like, KJ's our guy. You're much better than this. A couple of really bad drops. Did get himself a wide open touchdown, but I don't know. As of right now, I think it's pretty clear that Addison is wide receiver 2 in this offense, and you can't really fault it. But, I mean, it feels like we should feel worse about things, except we really don't, because this is a very talented football team, and I know a lot of people are like, just tank. I'll just pack up your tent and go home. That ain't gonna happen, man. You tell Justin Jefferson that he should lose games on purpose. Ain't going to happen, and this team is too talented, man. And again, I fully understand that Chargers are coming in. It's going to be a really tough game. Vikings could be staring down 0-3 right in the face. Then you got the Chiefs. They got the Niners at home on Monday Night Football. There's going to be some tough-ass games, but this is a tough-ass team. Like, hey, Vikings went into Philly, and they would have won the game. Frankly, they should have blown out the Eagles, except they kicked themselves in the dick 4 times. Like, again, turnovers cannot happen. Ooh, and Yeah, this tweet. No moral victories in the NFL. Vikings beat themselves. Turnovers are inexcusable. D-line needs as much help as the O-line. All that is. But you got 10 days. You got 10 days to get your ish together for the Chargers game, and we're on to LA. We are, man. But that's it. Vikings-Eagles recap, winners and losers. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skol, production value.